Hi. Life is suffering. The first time I heard that, I felt relief. And to be honest, every time I read it now, I feel relief that, the crap that's going on in my life might be happening in other people's life. And not that I would wish that other people were suffering, but I feel relief to know that the suffering is not my fault, that it's not because I'm a bad person or I'm innately shameful or horrible. I love David Richo for this. He studied psychology and spirituality, and he summarizes what he calls the five givens into a little beautiful book that I read all the time when chaos hits. And I've applied my little questions and big questions, and I just want to, dive like really deep into spiritual, emotional, and psychological truths that kind of cross barriers and are really raw and authentic to the human spirit, because that's what makes me feel like life is worth waking up for in the moment and the morning, and that things are good and unfolding the way they need to. I shouldn't say they're good, you know. What I mean is they're good, like that I'm part of a larger system, that the world is not throwing stuff at me personally, but that the world is unfolding in beautiful, synchronistic, divinely guided ways, shall we say. So, the five givens allow me to stay in my own business and allow me to trust that God or the universe or Allah or whatever you choose to call the force that creates hurricanes and brings babies and causes death and destruction and joy and ecstasy, that I can just turn that over and leave those things in that energy system. So the five givens. I have a worksheet on this at caseyberard.com. I have my little pretty one here in a little paper thing because I go to it all the time. So here are the five givens in summary, and I borrowed David Richo's because he's summarized them so well. Everything changes and ends. Things do not always go according to plan. Pain is a part of life. People are not loving and loyal all the time. And of course, I always forget one. Oh, this is one that kids love. My kids love it. Life is not always fair. Now, as you can hear, these are not like profound, sky opening truths. They're really nourishing, easy, truthful truths that are happening all the time, but that we don't think about. Life isn't always fair. Yeah, well, we know that sort of on some level, but then we walk around, or at least I do sometimes, thinking I'm going to just make everything fair and I'm going to make it all work out. Or someone whom I love betrays me or does something stupid and hurts me, and remembering that this is like a universal truth, that people are not good all the time, people aren't always loving all the time, brings me comfort. Everything changes and ends, reminds me of the cycle of life and death and beginnings and endings again. These givens I sometimes post on my fridge if I'm having a particularly rough time in life. They nourish me and sustain me and support me. And I do recommend David Richo's book because he's got all sorts of lists of things that can help you in these moments where you feel like one given is a real big pertinent part of your life, and it's torturing you or making you frustrated. It helps you find sort of the silver lining or the other side of the coin, along with these givens and along with any sort of chaos or crisis or stress in your life. How we transform them is by finding a new story, a new way of telling that truth, right? We may start with chaos and horror and end up with, this is how this experience changed me and transformed me and made me who I am today. Okay? I hope you enjoy this worksheet. It has this all summarized on it. It has questions to ask yourself too when you're going through these givens, little journal writing exercises that you can do by yourself or with your partner or with a friend, with your kids, to help really connect to these raw, vulnerable, human being truths that make us all interconnected. And hopefully that help you open your heart to more kindness and compassion and love for just your fellow human beings. If you want to read more about the 5 givens, David Richo's book is called The 5 Things We Cannot Change and the Happiness We Find by Embracing Them. And I would love to talk more about this with you. If you want more videos made on specific topics, I would love to do that for you too. You can leave a comment below, or you can send me an email. You can visit me at KCBerard.com. Otherwise, I hope you are enjoying your life and remembering that you are enough. Take care.